very historic day in the future of baseball history in Jamestown. We've had one team named for the last 25 years, and we understand that it's taken a while to get to this point, but we wanted to make sure it was perfect. Jamestown Community Baseball would like to thank those financial and trade partners. Those are simply the people who we have contracts with in our office. There are so many more private investors on this team that we did not display. Many of those investors are in the room today, leaders of businesses and companies, some corporations with roots in Chautauqua County. And of course, all of these people humbly have a passion for baseball. Kill the lights, God.
Wonderful ball players, as we've been able to talk about in the past. There's been hundreds of them that played here in this ball field for the Jamestown team, representing Jamestown, who went all the way to the major leagues, and we have a couple of them in the Hall of Fame, Melly Fox and Mr. Johnson, Randy Johnson, and a lot of them on major league rosters. And then they put a name of a guy hanging around town on it, as you can see from the shots that we have today. And it's been an honor for me. I'm still overwhelmed by all of it. They're putting together a baseball program, and they will do it in June of this year, bringing in outstanding baseball players to this facility and to this league. Let's us all get together and put 141,000 fans in the stadium in the year 2020.
Sports Hall of Fame is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed in 1980 to honor and preserve the sports history of Chautauqua County. Howard Emke from Silver Creek, New York. He is most remembered for being Mac's surprise starting pitcher in the 1929 World Series against the Chicago Cubs, where he set a series record with 13 strikeouts and won the game 3-1. The A's eventually took the series 4-1, and there was a big celebration for Howard back in his hometown in Silver Creek. After his baseball career ended, Emke began the Emke Manufacturing Company, a canvas business in Philadelphia. One of the products that Emke manufactured was the baseball infield tarp. His first customer was his old manager, Connie Mack. The Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame is very excited to learn that the new name of the baseball team that will be playing at Dietrich Park in 2020 includes the name TARP as an honor and an homage to our inductee, Howard Emke.
18th, I believe, the evening of the 18th. I was staying the night at the ballpark in the manager's office. It was the night before the ownership meet and greet. It was about 11 p.m. I got up, heard a bit of a scratchy noise near the door to my left. I looked, and there was a big skunk. And must have been, I don't know, I've never weighed a skunk before, but it must have been about an 8 to 10 pound skunk. It was bigger than a cat. Just looked at me, kept doing his thing, and that was the first greeter I ever had at Dietrich Park.
I had an experience with skunks at Dietrich Park. We were in the middle of a home game, everything was going along, weather was beautiful, one of those Chamber of Commerce nights where you really can't screw anything up. And the game was flowing along somewhere, I'd say in the middle of the game, we saw the whole visiting bullpen just scatter. All of a sudden, one young man comes running down towards the visitor's dugout. He's like, Coach, we need somebody. And of course, the visiting coach is back there, and they didn't care, they were coming around. So Matt and myself just took off running, right? We're the dummies that are running to someplace that everybody else is running away from. And as we got down to the back side of the bleachers and headed towards the visitor bullpen, guys were standing all in the far distance and were like, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on? Man, there's a skunk underneath our bench.
Around the time we were choosing to rebrand, we were having a discussion with Dom, our groundskeeper, and he asked if we had done anything, looking into the tarp. You know, the thing has holes in it, and it was in our long list of things that we needed to do, in a stack down at the end of the office. And he told us the story about how one summer the guys rolled it out and they could hear something thumping on the inside of the tube out of the cylinder every time it rolled around, ka-clunk, ka-clunk, ka-clunk. And the smell started coming out either side of the tube. It is a skunk, a big old skunk living inside the tarp. So all the guys peeled out of there and tore off and just left that thing wherever it was on the field. I don't know whatever happened there. I don't know if they got the game in, if the game was delayed or called on account of a skunk.
A couple years later, we were near the end of the season. Some of our younger interns were all leaving, heading back to college, so I was filling in as the clubhouse manager. We were done with the game, and at Dietrich Park, things are a little bit unique. We have one area where we have a washer and dryer, and basically you open the door, and the washer and dryer is right there. You kind of stand in the concourse and do the laundry. I don't know, it was about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was making my way down to the clubby room. And as I turned the corner to go in the clubby room, I looked up, and there were 2 skunks in the clubby room, figuring out where they were smelling some food and the warmth from the washer and dryer in there. And I will tell you, I spent 2 hours figuring out how to coax the skunks out of that clubby room. And I was very successful with leftover post-game meal and bread and some different things. The problem is, once I got them out there, the concourse hadn't been washed out from the game, because they always do it the next morning. The skunks wobbled around the concourse for a long time, so I had to do big laps. I had to go. So it was 2 hours and more that night of George and the skunks in the concourse at Dietrich Park.
Skunks are loyal. In the summertime, in the nice weather, they on their own. They're like the Jamestown, they do their thing. They work, they just want to get the job done. But in the wintertime, they get together, man. They're loyal. They den up together, and you get probably a lot of skunk parties, probably some of them inside the tarp here at Dietrich Park.
Those 2 personal stories were unique to Dietrich Park. Branding is so multi-dimensional. There's going to be some people that are very conservative and have one agenda when it comes to a name or an identity or branding. And then there's going to be some people that understand that this is a multifaceted experience in branding the team. This regime utilizing a company like Brandeis to help bring a full circle to make sure it answers all the components that it needs to have to make a branding work. I thought it was a great idea. And, you know, I know it sounds crazy, I know the idea is crazy, but it's really where the whole business of branding a sport team and how it affects everybody from the little people in our community all the way up to the wild veterans in our community. And you know, the biggest thing is we can rally around the skunk. And that's, you know, people have rallied around a lot of different things in sport. Ours is going to be the skunk and what a skunk represents and the history of the skunk at Dietrich Park. And we can be pretty stinking good at doing it.
All right, Russ, let's debut. You got that side? All right. The Jamestown Park Skunks. Who's interrupting this ball game? Come on in. Anybody wants to get this one? This is a good one right here. What's his name?
This is Rascal.
Rascal. So Rascal has not had his scent glands removed, so the exits are actually here and here now. Just kidding. A little known thing is that in our own county here, this fellow who won the World Series in 1929, he's the first person to ever use the infield tarp as an application. That guy's from here. So when you really think about what we had to uncover and what was found by looking into this tarp story, it's up there with the Lucy Balls, and it's up there with, I think it's up there with the Robert H. Jacksons. We have somebody from Chautauqua County that was someone that believed in leaving the game how we found it, or making it better. And the president of minor league baseball, Pat O'Connor, once said, to a full room like this, when you enter baseball, try to leave it the way you found it or make it better. And what Howard Emke did, he won a World Series. He won game one of a World Series for the A's. They won the World Series. And when he left the game, he thought, hey, you know, I hate rainouts. Everybody hates rainouts. And he decided that he wanted to use the infield tarp as an application. And Connie Mack bought the very first ever infield tarp. So that's something that in itself, when you think of the baseball history in Jamestown and in Chautauqua County, we've got 80 years at Russell Dietrich Park. 1941. Forever, with this park, will forever be known as the home of Howard Emke, who was the father of the infield tarp. We're especially proud of this mark because we feel as though the game itself has been touched by this branding. This is 100% a baseball logo and a baseball name, and it's something that I think will do Jamestown proud.